We just want to help the people. We just want to help the people. I don't want y'all to be mad at me. I just want to help the people. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We're live, still having a few technical difficulties. But I want to welcome you into Successful Living. This is our Successful Living on the third Wednesday of every month, live here at 1427 Suite E Launch Road. Please feel welcome to join us. Welcome to the Successful Living podcast and live stream with me, Reginald Campbell. I encourage you to get the book, Basic Financial Steps. And a lot of people were saying, well, there's two different covers. There's an updated cover, but the same information. And so people was like, well, when was the book written? This is a book that's not written for what was. It is written for what is. So it is a book for now and your future. And I will tell you why it's critical. That's once again Basic Financial Steps that teach you how to make your money work for you. You can go to your local retailers, or you can go to www.reginaldcampbellbooks.com and order the book. This evening, we want to talk about money principles don't fix stupid. I'm going to say that again. Yeah, we want to help the people. Money principles doesn't fix stupid. Now, the notes that I'm going to share with you in part tonight comes from Elon Musk, Mark Cuban of the Dallas Mavericks, the great Warren Buffett, Kimberly Washington, who is a CPA, and myself. And so on Sunday, I am going to give a handout for those that are in service. She has, Kimberly Washington, a CPA, she has 10 commandments of finances that I looked at and I thought they were phenomenal. I think they're phenomenal to the point that you can share them. You can go look her up, find her material, purchase it, get her, I think it's a devotional. But at the same time, you can start with yourself. You start with your friends, and you also can start with your children. Because anytime that I talk about finances, I'm also talking about inherited wealth. So what I want to do is when I say money principles doesn't fix stupid, is I'm saying many times our intellect and intelligence and our cognitive ability are not taken into consideration when we are handling money. A lot of people know how to hustle and make money, but don't know what to do with the money that they have hustled or made. The three key things that goes along with this is first, consistency, continuity, faithfulness to the processes. Consistency, continuity, and faithfulness to the process. There was a gentleman who said this to me, money won't manage itself. This is what I want you to know. We pay bills, but we don't make profits. So you have to re-examine the bills that you are paying versus having enough income or resources that generate profit. Now, I know you look at me, and I know those that are going to look, but everyone should make a profit. Now, I forgot, I want to give Jerome Hakeem Well a shout out, and y'all can hashtag him. He liked it, and a lot of people think, and I love males who want to learn. And I got to say to him, I like your shoes, all your sneaks that you had lined up on the fireplace. So I went and I saw that, so I wanted to share that with him, and also to Phyllis and to Tammy and to Brother Ray and to Levon and to Stephen and many people who are part of the virtual campus. We are excited and grateful for you. Here's the thing, determined but not informed, the poverty mindset can dissolve and take away your total opportunity to succeed. And that, many of you know, we've discussed the Magic Johnson taking the money and not taking the stock that yielded $5.2 billion. So when we look at money principles doesn't fix stupid, here is what stupid does. Stupid makes ignorance expensive. And when we're ignorant to knowledge, and let's say purchasing a car, and we don't understand because many people are so caught up into the yes, you're approved, but they pay no attention to the details. You need to know the interest rate. You need to know the value of the car. I always recommend to people, find out your credit score before you go talk to anybody, and tell nobody your credit score until you have a firm price on the vehicle. And you should really technically never put money down on a car. It doesn't add any value to you. And people would say, well, I don't agree with that. I have to. You're better off saving your money and paying $10 more a month and having gap insurance than to be giving someone $3,000-$4,000 for a car they only paid $800 to $1,100 for, and they sell it to you for $8,000, and then you've got 25-35% interest on top of that. You've already paid for the car. Now you're hooked to them for the next 5 to 6 years, and you've given them all this money for a car. You need to also look up what's the depreciation of this vehicle. Where was I? Where am I? And what's the depreciation of this vehicle? So if a vehicle turns around and every 15 minutes, every year and a half, you need to look at what it depreciates. If you pay $10,000 for it and it's dropping an average of $1,500 a year, and you're buying a car 5 years old, sometimes you're buying something that doesn't have an upside. So ignorance can be expensive. Now let's get into the gist of this. And this is going to sting. Stop now. Let me give him a little phrase. We just want to help the people. Stop trying to impress people. Stop trying to impress people. I ask your number one thing that will keep your finances in destitute. Stop trying to impress people. When you do that, you become very short-sighted. Here's what I say. I say it to myself, I say it to people, and we have to accept that. We're not there yet. This posturing and boasting and looking like money. A lot of people who look like money and wear name brands don't have 2 nickels in their pockets to rub. When you're comfortable with your money and your finances, you don't have to brag about anything. And so people ask the question, well, why you don't talk about church? Money should be talked about in church. Money should be talked about in school. Money should be talked about in the homes. No one should grow up in this society and not understand financial principles. It's what happens is people let you go and get in trouble, and then they tell you everything you shouldn't have done. Nobody told you in advance. And stop letting people put stuff in your name. We're not there yet. Here's the term, living in a self-defeating cycle. So for those who are writing, many people are living in a self-defeating cycle. Next one will be simple. Do you know where your money is going? And you may know where it's going, but do you know what it's doing? What does that mean? You're paying the bare minimum on a credit card, $30 a month, but you're getting charged $150 a month in interest. You got to know where your money's going. And most of the time, it's going everywhere but where it's really needed to be. As we are dealing and fluctuating with a recession, as we're dealing with still scaling up inflation, I think the Fed's just left the interest rates as they are, but I think they're averaging, 7.1? 7.1, 7.5. Okay, so you do the math. Take $100,000 and multiply that by 7%, and that's how much interest you're paying on a dollar. I'm going to ask you a question. How much of your money are in places that bring you back zero return? I hear all the time, I work hard. Or I'm making, I think they even said that if you're making $20 an hour now, that is still considered poverty wage. So my question becomes, how much of your money are in places that brings you zero return? Here's the thing I say. Stop using money as play money. Then cry victim. So I got to inject this. Y'all ready for it? We only want to help the people. Oh, and this is what I talk about, cognizability and intellect and intelligence. If you were cognizant about your money, and I'm not saying you, but you're going to know these people when I share it with you, you wouldn't be doing the things you were doing if you really valued money. Spending money doesn't bring happiness. Spending money collect things that many times has no value. And you need to position your life to be able to withstand something. Here's what I found very interesting. A stat. 84% of Americans making over $100,000 a year plus are living paycheck to paycheck, just like people in lower skilled positions. 84% of Americans that are making six figures. You know, people are like, I want to get to six figures. Oh, I want to get to six figures. Okay, but without discipline, you will spend that and be in the same situation in a higher tax bracket with people who have below average income. Now here's the plus. This is the reason we have the class. Check your preparedness. Check and see if you're prepared for a recession, job layoffs, job cutbacks. What do you mean? In Europe, there are companies that only work 32 hours a week. You know about it. There's no such thing as overtime. No such thing as overtime. So you only get 32 hours a week. If you work over, it gets to 8, and then you get the time off. You don't get the money. So you're basically on a fixed income your whole entire working life. What would happen in America? So check your preparedness, which means if there is a recession, how prepared are you to sit and hold out? Remember, I talked about the squirrel and the nuts. Mm-hmm. And how a squirrel can predict winter is by how many nuts are falling off a tree. If there's a huge harvest of nuts on a tree, the squirrel knows it's going to be a hard and long winter. It doesn't matter if it's 6 foot of snow on the ground for some of us. If we can't go by it, we're going to be right there. Come on, give me your phone, because we were just talking about it. We're going to be ordering stuff on the phone. And looking in the mail, so in the mail person sliding all down the road, just trying to bring you those boots you can't wear in the snow. Yeah, you said it, but they're cute. Check your preparedness. Every young man, that's why I gave Jerome McKean Webb for someone to like my page, and I tell people this. I'm not a hype guy. I think if you ever watch 3 minutes of what I do, there ain't much sugar in what I say. No. Yeah. People say I punch people. I never plan to punch people, but I would say it this way. How far and how ahead are you with just hype? Where has hype taken you? Some people get so hyped they beat up people at football games. Some people get so hyped they fight at basketball games. And God knows they fight at children. What's the league? What age group? The 6 to 8 looker. Your kids are out there playing, barely don't even know. Some of them can't even read down the 20-yard line, and you grown people out there fighting. Pop Warner. Mm-hmm. Some people are fighting at a Pop Warner field. Mm-hmm. We only want to help the people. Okay. So what happens if your job cut back the hours? What happens with unexpected expenses with your family, your parents, your grandparents, or your children? What do you do in the unexpected? Now I know you see. and
Jesus paid it all.
Jesus, man, I know the Lord. I've been faithful. You just done what was required. Because if I could pray up $1 million, I'd have been gone. I want it in a brown paper bag. I don't want nothing but $100 bills, not $100 bills. Are you prepared for the unexpected in your life? Because if you use, and we know this, in some countries, if you use up all your days, your bills are still going to be there if we're snowed in. Because, we get a little bit of snow in Greenville. We shut down. There you go. Come on, Michigan. Come on. Tell them, shut down. You go to Ohio or Michigan, you may have 6 foot of snow, and ain't nothing about, well, we're opening late. We're opening early.
Exactly.
Are you in position? Here is what the rich and wealthy do. And the reason I'm saying this, and I gave you the names, is because I thought it was a little harsh. And I have to say his name, Mr. Warren Buffett, and most people know who he is. He said these are the 15 dumbest things poor people do. I thought he would have had a little bit more, what's the word? Compassion.
Cool.
Oh, okay. And so I'm going to read some of these things to you. But here's the thing. Let me get to it. Oh, I've got to give you this. First of all, and I know people, and I know there are people in the industry that say you don't need to save your money, you just need to work your money. But what happens when your money's not working? I go back to the squirrel. You can hope you got some nuts across the field, but it's a whole lot less anxiety if you got the nuts with you. Am I making sense? So here's the thing. What do you have in your savings? Now let me tell you what the wealthy has. The wealthy not only has savings, they have coffers. So when they get a bonus, they take 2/3 of their bonus and they put it in a coffer. And then the next is they have reserves. So if it's tight, and even if their profit margin goes down, they have savings, coffers, reserve. That's not even talking about selling stock. It's not talking about rental property. We look like money and don't even own anything that we have. And I'm not saying this to any particular ethnicity group. I'm saying this is a blanket statement. What do you own? I guess that's why nobody wanted the mic tonight. Okay, that's okay. But let me give you what Pastor Keon said. I can't think of his last name. Henderson out of Houston. He said, I can't say the way he said. He can get away with that. He said, come here. That's what he said to us. He said, let me tell you something. You are supposed to, when you get your first over-the-top income, you are supposed to take that wealth and sow it into something that will bring back revenue. Not go shopping with it. He talked about it. Look him up. Pastor Keon Williams. Henderson. Go look him up and look up what he said. Come here. That's all you got to put in. Come here. I'm going to tell you something. So when people start to get around the corner, the culture of some start buying expensive things, but you're not there yet.
See, I was never taught that when I was young. Take that money, that first big something that's going to give you a return.
Right, because see, most people who make money don't want you to know that. Because what you're going to do is make money and turn right around and give it back to them. And you're going to say, well, I didn't give that to Warren Buffett. I didn't give that to Elon Musk. I didn't give that to so-and-so. Yes, you did, because they own the stock in what you bought. See, we take the dollar up front. But sometimes you got to wait and take the dollar on the backside. Because a dollar on the backside is going to be more than a dollar on the front. So when you get your first wave, you get your first big bonus, 3,000, 5,000, 6,000, 10,000. The reason people spend it, or let me take it another further. Can I do it again? We just want to help the people. You get your tax return gone in 3 days. You got 6, 8, yes. And most of it is on electronics and cars. You look like money, and see, people with money know you. They spot you. They don't even have to ride up anymore to look over to see your car look like a Christmas tree. They can just look at it and tell you you don't even know where to take it to get it repaired. You don't ever buy a car without checking out its history. Don't let anybody ever tell you, oh, it's a good car. I'll tell you that too. Yeah, so here's the thing. When you get your first wave, and they will come. I've seen people, oh, I ain't got another. No. You done got accident money. Come on, somebody, don't you? You done, somebody died, left you a couple $1,000. The problem, the reason we spent it is because we were in trouble before we got it. You have to work on getting out of trouble now. So when the next wave comes in, it doesn't go to your disaster fund. So you laugh. Are you right there by the mic? We having all these technical difficulties and you're right there laughing. You know, your funds just don't have to go to the disaster fund. I'm in need. I got to get my car smoking. You should have done something by now. See, instead of just spending, you should sit back and get around smart people. And it says this, are you spending or creating wealth? So here's the question. Here's how they position it. What do you have working in your off season? Let me talk about your own season, fireworks. We were having a conversation coming down the road. The fire stand down on 25, our fireworks shop been there, and I'm 62. It was there before I got here. And so it's been passed on to generation after generation, and they sell fireworks about 5 or 6 times a year, and you can't even get over there. It look like a bunch of bees, and it's just a little block building. And so what can you and your family do? Come on, somebody. We just want to help the people, but we won't work together. But so the thing of it is, what do you have working in the off season? Now, let's see. Yeah, here we go. Y'all want these? What do y'all want? Let me ask you what you want. Because I've got 2 lists here, and I'm just going to read them. And I really encourage everyone to go back and watch the video, even though we have technical difficulties with our other system. All right? What are you doing all season, okay? Number 1, not understanding the value of life, God, education, and upscale skills and credentials. I'll say that again. Not understanding the values of life, God, education, upscale skills, and credentials. Number 2, spending before you can produce anything that will come back. What's your brain? There's an ethnicity group that has less than 1% of shoemakers. And I would like for somebody to look up, because I don't like to give numbers that are too far out the way, is how many, I don't know how to say it, look up the demographics of who buys the most sneakers in the country. I guess that would be a political way. You can do that because you're not on camera. I do that and people start, doing things at the camera, and then I have to say, I only want to help the people, but just look it up, Google it up. You're all smart. And good, thank you for reading between your lines. Spending before you can produce anything. planning before major changes in your life. Mortgages, cars, children, real estate. Not investing in returnable assets. If you can't sell it and get more than what you paid for it, now, unless your grandma, great-grandma, or somebody left you something and wasn't a lot left around in certain cultures, then why are you spending money? You need to put money into something that you can sell it and get more from it.
That particular ethnicity group buys the most sneakers, but their
Who?
That particular ethnicity group.
No, you can say it because you're not on camera.
African Americans.
Oh, God.
But the African Americans that sell the sneakers don't see, the retailers don't see as much return as the white or any other ethnicity group.
It's from 15 to 40 in the age.
The age group?
Yeah, 15 to 40.
So I'm too old to be wearing sneakers.
Well, no.
You say, this is how they say, well,
It all
nah.
depends on how you carry it out.
But we just want to help the people. But what I'm saying is, and I'm going to let you say something. Here's the thing. There is a group that just came out. And there's only less than 3 or 4 groups of color that are now producing sneakers. They got it. The guy who was trying to do it, he was a Dutchman, but he was an African Dutchman. And they have a shoe going out. I can't think of the name. It starts with a T. But just Google it. And he's coming out. So you're saying, what age group?
15 to 40.
15 to 40. So now how...
It's a $70 billion industry.
$70 billion?
Dollar industry.
And before somebody buy your sneaks, they'll steal your sneaks.
My bad.
Oh, Jesus. Man, you gonna give me them sneaks. Man, I just got them. And you sound soft. But I just got them, Bob. You gonna give them up today. Now, what were you gonna say?
As a country, China buys more footwear but we spend the most on shoes, of course, but yeah, as a country, China buys the most footwear. Last year, they bought 3.93 billion pairs of shoes.
Goodness.
Shouldn't some of y'all be designing sneakers?
I wish.
I mean, you say, give those numbers, give them, say them loud. Use your daddy voice when you're talking to your grandson. Use your daddy voice. Hey, what you... Everybody, even I got it in my chair.
In 2022, China bought 3.93 billion pairs of shoes.
Billion pairs of shoes?
3.9 billion.
3.9 billion pairs of shoes. Shouldn't somebody that's sitting there scratching on paper should be designing some sneakers and trademarking them? And I only want to help the people. I mean, my God, you guys are talented, but you don't know how to do anything. Let me manage your music. Oh yeah, now, okay. See, you don't fool with anybody. This is number 5. That can't show you sustainability. Don't fool with them. You always got that friend that got that bright idea. You can't fool with people who don't have sustainability. The rich don't do it. It's not what happens, and this is what I just said, it's not what happens on the front side. It's the back end where the money counts. Many have bought into the front end and lost on the back end. Don't buy into what others are saying or doing. What does that mean? Don't be a copycat. Because your neighbors go and get a new car, you go and get a new car. Because someone on the job gets a new car, you go get a new. How do we all ride around in a parking lot in a Chrysler 300 and we all make $12 an hour? Who are we fronting to? Check for yourself. Don't just take what people say. Check for yourself and do your own investigation with credible resources. Now, this is going to hurt. Now, I forgot to add one name, Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah said her mother taught her, baby, your mother ever tell you that? Sugar, come on in the room. Big Mama, come on, baby. Big Mama need to talk to you. I know your head made funny, but I still love you. Come on. I don't know who your daddy might be, but I still love you. Come on, baby. Queen Latifah says her mother taught her, live on less than what you earn. And there's a beautiful article, and I have it, that Queen Latifah wrote why she has what she has and how she's able to build affordable housing and how she's able to have her own movie production company is because her mother told her, live on less than what you earn. That's how most of us are going to turn our lives around. Simple analysis. If you pay off a car, where's that money that you were paying for that car? You can pay other people, but you can't pay yourself back. Here's a quick reference. If you were to keep taking that monthly payment out and you paid them for 3, 4, or 5 years, then in 4 or 5 years, you will have an additional $35,000, $40,000. So look at it this way. You got the car, you kept it up, you waxed it, you detailed it, you did the service on it. So it still has sellable value. Then you paid it off with help and boost your credit. Then you paid yourself back. So guess what the fourth one is? Now when you go sell it, your car has worked for you 4 times. Because if you've already paid yourself back the 4 years when you didn't have a car payment, so that means you've kept the car 8 years, somebody will come along and give you, because right now, I don't know where you can go buy a used car for $3,000. I put my 3 kids in Honda Civics. They're hard to tear up. You can. I would be driving one right now, a white one, till somebody stole it. And then when I went to the junkyard, they done told, I'm like, if you're going to steal a car, don't tear it up. I'm talking about you can get your stuff out. What stuff? Wasn't nothing in it.
You can find that car for $3,009 that cheap, but
No. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm going to say, quit buying junk. Quit buying survival stuff. Eat today and starve tomorrow. So here's the thing. Live on less than you earn. As you develop, these are some things. Here's what Warren Buffett said. 10 things broke people say. We got 5 minutes. Broke people say and others say. First of all, number 1, I can save money later. How many people say I'm going to start saving later, next month?
And something else is going to come up. It's going to be the month after next. It's always something that's going to come up when you're going to put it off.
Mm-hmm. Here's what poor people say. Used cars aren't safe. My family needs the best or they won't be happy. You either drive or walk or catch the bus.
there you go.
Do what now? Yeah, seriously. Seriously, because there's a culture that's been set that can't be maintained because it never had sustainability from the beginning. You can get it, but can't keep it up. And what you purchase don't bring a value. Now you want your kid who's going to be slamming doors, who's going to be parking beside somebody, scratching up the car, all because, now let me break it out. You saw that in your childhood where there was a kid in another neighborhood that was driving a nice, expensive vehicle to school. But as someone said, their parents have already paid for that. That's a hand-me-down car. So now you want a luxury car that every time you raise the hood is $350 for an oil change. Come on, somebody. You hear what I'm saying? I just had my little Honda fixed. $1,500. There wasn't nothing wrong with it when I brought it in there, but if I'd have kept driving it, there was going to be something wrong with it. See, we don't understand preventative maintenance. Water pump, fuel pump, timing chain. See, all that stuff needs to be, we want to break, and it, oh Jesus, oh Heavenly Father, I'm your child. Lord, let me make it. No oil been put in the car.
Just having praise the word going down the road.
Just have praise, right? Yeah, he can do it. Won't he do it? 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 So people, family needs can break you. Trying to impress your family can break you. And here's the other thing that older people say. I can't win with money. I'm too old. My credit score is everything. This is what poor people say. And here's another thing that poor people say. I earned this. I earned the right to get broke. I earned the right to go buy a car and pay a car payment more than my rent and my mortgage. Combined. Yes. Keon said, you sitting up there, and so here's the thing. And so people ask me, and you made a very good point. Why do I talk about money? Keon Henderson, Pastor Keon Henderson, right? He said, you got a $906 car payment. And it's depreciating every day you drive. All because you want to look like something. And you wonder why you can't get a house. You know why? A car is not a valuable asset. When they ask you for your asset list, that car is not valuable unless it's an antique. I'm not saying an antique from the junkyard, but an antique. Now you got an antique. There's some people come up, what you want for it there? Sell them. Just like they're trying to get your grandpa a truck. I figured I'd give $500. You can take the truck just like it is now to Barrett or Meekum, and you can't get nothing less under $65,000 or $75,000 for it, and it looked like a mess. But because it is a Cheyenne Chevrolet truck, 1973. See, if you don't have nothing, you eat up everything. You ever seen anybody do that? They come to the cookout, they don't have nothing, but they first one in the meat line. They brought a soda. If they brought that, they brought a bag of potato chips. You don't even know where it comes from. You know, they don't even give that out at the local general store. And they sitting in there with it. Because unless it's an antique.
You can't trust them to cook. That's why you give them plates and forks that brings them cooking.
So here's another thing that poor people say. If I made more money, the government will take it away. This is another thing poor people say. Here's number 9. My neighbors have it, so I should have it.
You're not your neighbor.
You don't know your neighbor's situation.
And you don't know how long your neighbor gonna keep it.
Stan is a good example.
See, you. It come back. You're right. You absolutely. You said it. You know, and so because it's something in humanity and in certain ethnicity groups that they just I gotta have. They got you. You know, I earned this. No. Here's the other thing. Number 10. I'll always be broke. This is what poor people say. Number 11. This is what Warren Buffett said. Nobody should be smoking. I've had people ask me, man, can you help me out? I'm like, man, help you out? I know that pack of cigarettes cost $5, man. Shoot, I can't even afford to smoke. You doing something I can't afford. So you chose to live out here to smoke, and I chose to live over there so I don't smoke. He says smoking, you should give up. Gambling. Tell somebody it's about to get tight. Fantasy football bets. I only want to help the people.
You can't stop fantasy football, man. It's crazy.
Do I know?
Bro, teenagers be doing it.
Be betting. Be betting with the parents' debit card. If I hit, they'll be happy.
If I miss,
It's at an early age.
If
I hit, it's gonna be on. Now here's another one. Here's another one. It's gonna get sticky. Regular nights out. Warren Buffett, like, why are you going out? You should be at home cooking. You should be at home painting. You should be at home drawing. You should be at home tinkering and fixing stuff. There was a man who worked for one of the number one retailer in the world. And you know what he started doing on the side? Fixing trains.
Choo-choo.
Yes. And now, if you go down 123, he has a beautiful train shop down there. He took a hobby and a childhood love and started building trains. The old-fashioned trains. And he was able to leave the number one retailer in the world and have his own hobby shop on 123. In Aisley, South Carolina. Aisley, boys, in Aisley.
The Green Wave.
Yeah, the Green Wave. Now he says regular nights out, buying new cars, overspending on clothes, chasing the latest technology, frequenting bars and pubs.
Not the liquor store.
You know, we sang Bill drink back then.
Oh, church people drink too. I have pictures. I went to a place. I can't call their name because I got friends. See, that's why there ain't nobody on camera. There's a couple of ladies in my way. Now, you may not drink, but oh, look at your boy. I got to get my nerves right together. Not my nerves right together. You can calm me down, bring me ready for the evening, I can go to sleep. He said, frequenting bars and pubs, relying on credit cards, neglecting personal development. How many gifts are in your hand? And you want somebody to give to you, and you want a way out, and God has already given it to you in your innate inheritance. Number 20, this is from me. Void of a relationship with God. Out of the 20 things that I just gave you, you want me to give them to you real quick? One, I can't save money. I can save money later. Used cars aren't safe. My family needs the best. That's number 3. And they won't be happy. Number 4, I can't win with money. I'm too old. Number 5, my credit score is everything. Number 6, I earned this. Number 7, if I make more money, the government will take it away. Number 8, I don't need insurance. Number 9, my neighbors have it and I should too. Number 10, I'll always be broke. Number 11, smoking. 12, gambling. 13, regular nights out. 14, buying new cars. 15, overspending on clothing. 16, chasing the latest technology. We were together, and I'm sitting here trying to look for a deal on the phone, and he telling me someone that didn't even have a job that was 15 had an $1,800 phone. Remember that? I said, I own a business, and I can't afford an $1,800 phone. And you don't even get emails. You just get texts and calls and taking pictures. I'm sorry. That was number 16. Number 17, I think I had a flashback. I think I might be scarred. I think I need therapy, 17, frequently bars and pubs. 18, relying on credit cards. 19, neglecting personal development. And 20, void of a relationship with God. Money principles don't fix stupid. God bless you. I'll see you soon.